Hey, welcome to the Cigar Room Show. Today, I have the privilege of being down here in Waterville, Ohio, down here at 3rd Street Cigar Lounge. We have Josh, we have Randy here, the owners, and I just really want to tell y'all first how much I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity to be down here with you and talk about what it took to develop this lounge, what some of the things you plan on doing, and also some of the things that you've already done and accomplished that been great. So,
Sure.
How's everything going today?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for coming down. I really appreciate
thank you
it.
very much.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I want to get into the story. I want to go from the beginning.
Okay.
Though, so when you're starting this, you're thinking about even having a lounge, or was it a lounge initially, or was it something online you wanted to do?
So there was a group of us that used to frequent a different local establishment, and they always shut the shop down at 10 p.m.
Okay.
Well, during football season, that's the halftime of the late game, and they'd throw everybody out, and you'd have to hustle home to catch the second half of the game. And we all decided that we kind of wanted our own place. We wanted somewhere where we could do what we wanted. So we were on the hunt for a place to do that. We found this building, all pitched in some money, and we bought the building.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but quickly realized that we got a place where we can hang out now, but how are we going to keep the lights on?
Yeah.
You know, we're going to do monthly stuff, we're going to charge monthly fees, something like that. Of that group, 4 people stepped up and said, we'll open a storefront up front, and you can still have your private lounge in the back, and we will pay you rent, and that rent will consist of heat and light and direct TV and all the fun stuff you do in the back, but we'll run the shop up front.
Okay.
So, that was the beginnings as far as I remember it.
Yeah.
That was the gist of it anyway. So it's a very unique business model, but it works well for us. So we have a private lounge that has, how many? There's
100.
100-ish
Yeah.
that are, of that 100, there's 19 that are owners of the building.
Wow.
Right, is there 19? That's
19.
counting us?
Yeah, 19. That
Yeah.
includes us.
So, and then there's 4 primary business owners. And then I'm the managing partner. I run the day-to-day operation with Randy as my can't do without,
Yeah.
ride or die.
Appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah.
So it's from what I'm hearing, like this takes a lot of trust, takes communication, like because to have that many people. I know you understand. It's probably it could be communication. You got to trust each other to
Yeah.
just do the right thing.
Yeah, and there's that core group of individuals that entrusted us with their money to develop this model, and it's a really unique model. I mean, where you have member owners and then a core group of guys who run the storefront, and we're charged with the responsibility to manage the store in a way that keeps the back lounge open and makes it a place that people want to continue to go, and then additionally grow the business to the general public as well.
Absolutely.
So it's a complicated but interesting and yet at the same time fun business model that we all really enjoy it out here, and I've met a lot of really good friends. I mean, people I would consider family by doing this.
And that was the good part about it too, is that, of that core group of guys, we all were friends already, having, this shared interest in cigars and being around each other. And it made it easier to jump into something like this.
Yeah.
Because you already know these guys. This wasn't just random people that you're trying to get in to invest in your business. It's friends who kind of trusted the vision that you were laying out for them. And that's the fun part of this is, at the end of the day, we're all still friends.
Yeah.
And we have, in my opinion, obviously, the best shop in Northwest Ohio.
Yeah.
There may be shops with bigger humidors, but nobody can compete with our lounge. And I'm tooting my own horn here a little bit.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, this is an amazing lounge. I've been to a lot of them.
Yeah.
Throughout the country, and I got love for a lot of my lounges back home in Detroit. But when I tell you, when I came in here, I was fascinated with the layout of your lounge. And by the way, it's a second floor. We're on the second floor of the lounge,
Right.
and just the setup, man. And I want to get into it a little bit. The musical history you have around you, I'm looking. I'm just like, this place is made. Me and my wife were blown away by the way it was set up. And then when you come in, you're like, okay, kind of got a homey feel. Small town. Man, come in, yeah, right. You walk in, and you keep walking around. It's like, hey, this lounge is to be reckoned with. This is an amazing setup.
Yeah. So if you're a music fan of every genre, you can find something up here or downstairs. Our downstairs is mostly blues artists.
Mm-hmm.
This upstairs lounge is named Big Jack's Lounge in honor of Toledo's own blues man, Big Jack Reynolds. Jack passed away in 1991, but he left a legacy of blues behind, and we carry on that legacy with Jack's guitar and his harmonicas on our landing, and also Jack's ashes. So Jack lives here with us.
Absolutely.
And when I say lives here, I mean, this is an
Literally.
old town, and you hear some strange things. And I think Jack might be up here sometimes.
It's all right.
But it's a very cool place. We get a lot of people that you wouldn't really expect to come to small town Waterville. When we first opened, I was working the register, and this old gentleman came in. I helped him get a cigar, and you look at somebody, you're like, I recognize that dude, but I don't know from where. He's way older than me, so he's definitely not somebody that I'm hanging out with, but I recognize him from somewhere. So he gets his cigar, and he sits down. We've got a picture of a famous sax player named Eddie Shaw downstairs. He sits right under Eddie's picture, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, that's Eddie Shaw. That's the dude in the picture, right? So I'm like, hey, Eddie. And he looks, and I was like, I knew that was you. He was in town because there was some blues artists recording at our recording studio, and he wanted to hang out and hang with them. So you get some cool people in here, and people you wouldn't expect to come to small town Ohio.
Yeah. See, I appreciate y'all for doing that as well, for having the artists and great musicians here. Like they play, and from what I understand, right here in the front, you actually have like I think maybe festival or things like that going on in the summer.
Yeah. So every year in July, the last week in July, we'll do a Blues, Brews, and Brats event out front, where we shut down the street. We put a flatbed semi-trailer across the road, and that's our stage. And we have blues artists come in and just blow the doors off of Waterville. And that's been going on, we're on our 6th year now?
6 or 7 years now.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
We make the upstairs the green room, so all the artists are up here doing their thing. And we've got some really cool stories from Blues, Brews, and Brats alone.
I can imagine.
Chaos and
If you don't mind me asking, are we planning again for that this year?
Absolutely.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. I definitely. Is there tickets that are sold, or
There's tickets that you get here. You can get them here, and we're going to try to do online sales again this year.
Okay.
Information will be on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter pages.
Great.
As we get closer, we'll get the tickets printed out. And we're actually getting close enough now where it's probably getting real close to time. So, we'll have information out on that. We also do another festival in August. It's Oliver Hazard Day.
Okay.
Oliver Hazard's a local band. They played their first gig here at the shop. And now they're on to, national level style stuff, but they come home once a year to put on a show for their hometown. And they bring more of a younger folk, I don't even know what to call it, like a folky acoustic vibe. It's a real mellow type of day, lots of younger folks outside. They come in and introduce themselves to the cigar world, and because Oliver Hazard's here, and they bring some other national acts to play with them. So it's a cool time, man.
That's amazing. You know, my 13-year-old son had just started getting into the trumpet, and and then he talked to me, asked me about somebody named Miles Davis,
Yeah.
and said, I don't know how you're thinking about musicians from the 1900s, but I love it.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
I love
awesome.
it. And he's playing. You know, he started playing better than I thought he would at this point in the first 6 months.
Yeah.
And his teacher is this. He's like a 24, 25-year-old guy. He just has such an appreciation for music,
Right.
and I was blown away, and
cool.
and I love it. So the now you're developing this lounge. You're developing, you know, with this beautiful place here. First year to 2 years, how are things going? What's some of the things that you're seeing that
From then until now,
that maybe you didn't expect?
man, I think the biggest difference from then until now was just learning how to run our shop, how to be 3rd Street and not be some other shop at this location. You know, how do we want to do things?
Yeah.
You know, and there's been a lot of trial and error, and you know, when we first opened, we had all the big brands that everybody else has, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but we're a destination. You've seen the town; it's very small. There's not a lot else to do. So if you're not coming here to smoke cigars or see a show, there's not a whole lot else to do. Now it's growing, and there's more things popping up. We've got a new restaurant down the street that is bringing a lot of people, but we have to get people that want to be here. So we're bringing in some more boutique brands,
Absolutely.
smaller, like we're smoking today. You know, smaller brands that are starting out that aren't in Ohio yet.
Love it. I love it. I appreciate y'all for being a destination for boutique brands. You know, that is one of the things that, you know, you commonly see people first open their lounge. They gotta have the big brands coming in, and then people will ask. I'm sure y'all probably go through it all the time. Do you have and it's some boutique brands somebody's never heard of probably, and you give them an opportunity. You know, this place y'all created a place where you could watch that second game of football. But you created an opportunity for a lot of small business owners.
Sure.
So I appreciate y'all for doing that. You know.
You know, we've met a lot of cool people in this industry, and the cigar world is pretty unique when it comes to the shop owners. We all have the same kind of mentality that if I create a cigar smoker, that dude or girl is going to go out and find all the other shops in the area, because it is an experience to go to these different lounges and hang out with other shop owners and other people at other shops. But they're always going to have their home base, and their home base is hopefully going to continue to be Waterville. So if I grow the pie a little bit bigger, everybody gets a little bit bigger slice of that pie, and that's something I love about the industry, is that we're all kind of fighting the same battles.
Yeah.
You know, there's no shops that really have a unique set of problems that they're facing. The problems in one shop generally carry through to most of the other shops. Now, barring the gigantic, you know, Rocky Patel burns and that kind of thing, smaller shops are facing the same problems as other smaller shops, not only in the area but across the country. So networking is huge in this business, and just knowing other shop owners, having somebody to get your back when you're getting frustrated.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So
you the voice of reason?
I try to be. I try to be.
sometimes
You're the guy.
we work both. You know.
It goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm the one having the shouting match, and he's the level-headed one.
Yeah, I think we've talked each other off the ledge a few times.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's been an interesting. I think it's 9 years this July.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting 9 years. There's obviously been hurdles and hills to climb. I mean, stuff from just, you know, dealing with people from day to day and the different personalities you come into contact with, to, you know, just trying to build the business model. You know, the developing vendor relationships is not always easy. So, you know, getting in certain brands can be difficult, and, kind of just keeping at it and keeping at it. It's how it's how we delivered on, some of those upper level brands that, have distribution roadblocks and hurdles that you have to kind of get through, and there's just the fortitude to just keep at it and finally delivering on, what the mission was, what you wanted to get accomplished. So those are the kind of things that you look back and it makes it all worthwhile, right? We had an objective, and you take a step forward, you take a step back, but you got to where you wanted to go. And we love traveling. Josh and I love traveling around to different stores in the region. We went to a couple up in Michigan not too long ago. One in maybe it was a Bay City.
Yep.
And those are great experiences, and we want people to do that with us too, because you learn something. You watch how other people manage their stores. You watch how their store setup is. Even the ergonomics of do we have our store set up correctly for people to come in, and watching that with other stores. You just learn a lot. Learn a lot.
Yeah, it's fun to go to these other shops and look at how the shop owners are running their store. Even like Randy said, the setup of the shop. Are we doing it right? And it's not a one-size-fits-all type of deal. Every shop's different, so we take what we can from everywhere we go and try to make our shop better. I've met some shop owners recently from the Detroit area who have been a big help.
Absolutely.
Because I am newer to this than they are.
Okay.
So when I can have a shop owner explain to me the things not to do, that's a good thing. Not only because it gives me some experience and some insight into what might be coming, because I might not be facing that particular problem at this moment, but just the fact that they've been through it at some point gives me a little bit of a heads up.
Yeah.
So it's been really nice talking to these folks.
Yeah, that's amazing.
We went to the PCA event in Vegas last July. One of the things that Josh and I wanted to focus on was we wanted to have those one-on-one conversations with cigar store owners around the country, and bouncing ideas off of them, but also, talking to them about, okay, you have a private lounge or you have a public lounge, here's the problems we have. Have you faced these problems, and how have you dealt with it?
Yeah.
And because sometimes you have to make really tough decisions.
Definitely.
And you're conflicted with what is the right and wrong decision to make, and those decisions aren't always going to make people happy, unfortunately. And when you're talking to other owners and they've had to go through it, and they're telling you that they've made similar decisions and that the line of thinking and logic you're using is correct, it helps you rest assured and sleep a little better at night when you got to make those tough decisions. So it's a really beneficial thing. And like Josh said earlier, it's there's lots of cigar stores around the country, but it's still like a real small little group, and we all, I think, experience a lot of the same things, a lot of the same growing pains, and hopefully a lot of the same successes.
Absolutely. That's a key thing that I can appreciate about the culture right now is we're not in competition with one another. We're complimenting one another.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tell other people that may be doing podcasting or may have kind of a show or a vlog or anything like that. It was so many people that reached out to me when I first started the show. It was overwhelming, the advice or information they were giving me and telling me different things. Hey, I like what you're doing. Hey, do this, try this, see how it works well for you. And I thought that was great. And then I see other, cigar shop or cigar owners helping each other. We're not in competition. We compliment one another. They're going to build their own core people that are going to be consistent and loyal to that lounge or enjoy other ones, and they're complimenting one another, and that's great. And I can appreciate. So shout out to Mo and Don and everybody over in Detroit that was having that good conversation with you.
Yeah, and like I said, they were just great. It was easy to really pick their brain, with the trials and tribulations that they've been through. And that's the great part. Like I said, my favorite thing about this industry is building these relationships. Now, am I going to call them up in the middle of the night with a problem? No, but I know they're there, and if it's something that's really getting to me, I can reach out, and they have no problem doing the same. Same with my customers. I challenge my customers to go out and visit these other lounges, because they all tend to have, like I said, that home base. They all come back.
Yeah.
Part of the problem is, every shop doesn't have one of each. So, there's how many cigar brands? 100,000 brands.
Easily.
I don't have one of everything.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem telling you where to get it.
Yeah.
And one thing the customer doesn't generally understand is that, when they come to me and say, hey, can you get this cigar? Maybe. The real answer is maybe.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into me just ordering one box of cigars, because
they have no idea.
It's not, if I called a brand new manufacturer and said, hey man, I'd like to buy one box of that.
Yeah.
We're like, hold up. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So I have to do my research, and part of that research is reaching out to people that have this brand, like, hey man, how's this selling in the shop? What kind of stuff can I expect? Is it something my customer's even gonna like? Every shop's got their own set of basic customers that, we are a big ring gauge shop. My customers generally like the bigger ring gauge cigars. So I've learned that.
I've seen an extremely big ring gauge down there just a little bit ago.
Yep.
Jeez.
But you learn through trial and error that the Lanceros aren't going to sell very well here. So those are the kinds of things that I reach out to other shop owners for. And I've got a couple that are on speed dial on my cell phone just in case, because they've been doing it for a long time, and they're willing to help. We're not direct competition to anybody, because we are a small shop in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. I hate to say that,
but I got the opportunity to find. You said people suggest or people come back. I would suggest at this shop by someone in a whole nother shop to come here.
Right.
You should come. You should go there. While we were in another lounge.
Like I said, you were at that other lounge, and I've told people I don't carry that, but this guy does. If you want to make the drive over there, he's got it. I can guarantee it's in his shop. So that's the good thing about this industry is we kind of help each other out.
So
there is a little bit of competition. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You always want to be a little bit better, but I learned a long time ago that I don't have to compete against anybody. I just have to compete against us.
And what you did last. Sometimes it sharpens you, though.
Yeah.
A little competition.
How many customers did I have last year? Can I break that number this year?
Absolutely.
Can I do something better here to make us better?
Yeah. So there's somebody comes into the shop and somebody brand new to the culture.
Right.
Absolutely.
You make them feel comfortable.
I mean, you mentioned earlier, Josh, we can't have every single cigar store. We can't have every single brand of cigars sold. And then there's times where we have to say, we don't have them. Down the street will have them. We may even call and make sure they have them before we send you down there.
Wow.
But
great.
What those locations, in the greater Toledo area don't have that we have is the lounge space. We have 2 public lounges. We have a 3,000 square foot building. We have a private lounge in back that's 1,000 square feet. It's 24/7 access.
Yep.
365. Wow. And you get your own personalized humidified locker.
Wow.
You get key card access to the lounge. You can come and go as you want. You're not going to find that anywhere else in the area. You
are absolutely correct. I'm down to Texas, where I've been. I took the show down there. I have not heard that one yet.
Yeah, I've had some of the greatest times of my young 46 years spent up here at this shop. It is so much fun. I've met so many cool people, and I mean, every weekend it's a party.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So
I like the cigar world and the fact that you've got the blue collar, 40-hour-a-week guy sitting right next to the doctor talking about football.
Yeah.
Right. Where else do you get that? What other industry can you have?
It's interesting you say that. The guy who suggested me to come here is a neurologist. He was a neurologist. Right? He suggested, he was telling me, different things that kind of scared me a little bit. He was telling me certain things. I'm telling my wife, like, hey, we should do some things different, you know. But she keep me with vitamins and everything like that. But a neurologist suggested me come here.
Yeah, what's super unique and what I love the most about this place is, you know, outside of your college or pro team differences, all that's left at the door, and you know, everybody's welcome from any genre, any kind of place you could imagine somebody would be in or come from in this country, and you know, we welcome them in, and you sit down with somebody that might be the complete polar opposite of yourself, and you have a great conversation.
Yeah.
And it's just been a great experience. You learn so much about other people and other culture up here, and I think that's what makes this place really special.
Is it left at the door, really? So if I come in here with Michigan gear on,
Well,
y'all
we
gonna treat me the
throw
same?
you out for that.
You know, you got to draw the line somewhere.
You gotta draw the line somewhere. No, that's amazing. I want to kind of get into some personal things, though. Like the first, cigar experience. How did you get introduced to cigars? You know, what's the story behind that?
My first cigar was a Nat Sherman, and I was not a cigar smoker. I would golf with my cousin, and he was a cigar smoker. And I would get us a cigar when we'd go golfing a couple times a summer. And he would light his, and mine was just for affectation, I guess. And this was 20 years ago at this point, and I just started my career. I must have had a bad day. I still had the cigar, and I was like, man, I'm lighting this thing, and it was like, wow, stress gone.
Right.
Really?
So it's been like, I'm gonna keep doing this.
So
I
you
like
had a
it.
pleasant first experience.
I did.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Mine was too, actually. My first cigar was God, I can't believe I'm gonna say it, but my first cigar was a Cuba Cuba. I think a lot of people start around that area, the acids.
Yep, good old infused, flavored.
But I quickly transitioned, but it's still a guilty pleasure. I still go back to that occasionally. But my good friend introduced me to it right after my son was born. So it's been 17 years now, something like that, and just never looked back, man. Spent 20 years in the military, so been all over the world, smoked cigars everywhere. Oh, thanks, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But smoked cigars from everywhere you can think of, and just kind of grew into the hobby. And I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's a lot like the craft beer hobby. You know, you're never gonna find something bad. There's nothing in our humidor that's bad. There's nothing in any humidor that's bad. Nowadays, everything is so good. There might not be something that you particularly like, but nothing's bad. The days of bad cigars and just inferior quality tobacco are long gone. So, you know, and just researching that kind of thing and what they're doing and how they're growing and the fermentation processes and all this kind of stuff. I just had 2 reps in the shop yesterday spending 2 hours talking about that process and why there's no bad cigars anymore. There's no bad tobacco anymore. There might not be something that you like particularly. I have the ones that I don't like as well. I'll never say them out loud in the shop. But there's no bad cigars anymore.
I mean,
if you get them from a reputable shop, there's no bad cigars.
There's a lot of people that, you know, I mean, being honest here, it's a lot of people that give people a hard time based on what they smoke. Especially, because the different ladies that are in the culture now.
Correct.
You know, they prefer, you know, maybe an infused cigar. Some of them even, you know, they'll grab a Maduro out of there, you know. But, you know, I'm a big believer. You know, don't make anybody feel, you know, inadequate in the culture. If that's what they smoke or they like to pair it with that, that's okay. You know, I just met a guy, his name Chris. He's a veteran as well, and he started a movement called Sober Stogies.
Okay.
People who are a group of gentlemen and I believe some ladies that started a group for sobriety. They pair with coffee, you know, and they are cigar aficionados to the core, you know, and I was listening to his story and I was like, that's amazing, you know, and they got a lot of them. They're meeting up. They're actually towards Southern Ohio.
Okay.
So I think he said he's about 40 minutes from Columbus.
Okay.
So I'm definitely gonna go to Canton and meet with them at one of their meetings that they're gonna have together at one of the lounges, I believe is there. And hey, I mean, who wouldn't want to support that?
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
that's amazing. You know, he was telling me some stories about some people who dealt with some real issues while they were in the military and post the military and different things, and you know, he enlightened me on some things that I wasn't aware of, and it's amazing. Different storylines, people come into the cigar culture, and that's what this show was based around. You know, having some of these conversations and understandings with each other, and bringing what happens in a common day in the lounge, just on the show.
Absolutely.
You know,
like it.
so yeah, and you know, so your first experiences with cigars sounded pleasant.
They were
Mine,
pleasant.
unfortunately, was not. I was down in Houston, Texas, and I almost killed myself because I didn't know. I tried to act like I knew what I was doing, you know. It's like, you know, I think I could do this.
As a shop owner, you deal with that. You know, the guys, it's usually guys that smoke what their buddies smoked. And no matter how many recommendations I give them against it, they still want to do it. And
We've all been there. We've all been there. We've all had the early experiences where you smoke the 2 or 3 Maduros too fast, and next thing you know, you're laying on the floor trying to keep the room from spinning. Done it. Been there.
You catch somebody with a real oily one in their hand, like, oh, geez, what are you gonna do? But so, by the way, you know, I've been recently doing something called episodes called Perfect Pairings. What's some of your perfect pairings with a cigar of your choice?
so I just recently started into the whole bourbon world.
Okay.
And what a crazy world that is. But I think the perfect pairing for me, because I'm a novice into this thing, is I really like Woodford Reserve with almost every cigar I've smoked. I really like coffee with my cigars as well. So
I've
that's
been doing that lately too.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'm not even a big coffee drinker like that.
Right.
And I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta give a shout out to Woodford because it's easy to get. It's right in my price range, and it pairs well with most cigars. If you add a cigar with a little bit of spice to it, it brings out some more of the woodiness of the Woodford. So I like that. That's
Neat.
for me. Neat, of
All
course.
right.
Yep.
How about yourself?
Wow, I'm going to start going on a list here. I think I'm going to need a 12-step program. I think cigars pair really well, like Josh said, with coffee. I'll have a morning cigar with coffee. I think they pair really well with red wine. There's a couple scotches that I really love and really enjoy that I'll have with a cigar. But I think my favorite would be a really good beer. Good German beer.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say
You
that.
knew I was going to say it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think the earliest I smoked was 5 o'clock in the morning. I was fishing, and unfortunately, it was not with a coffee. I had a beer.
There you
5
go.
o'clock in the morning. So, but it's all
Like
right.
I said, man, I've been
It's
all over
fishing.
the world. I've tried beer everywhere I've gone, and I just can't get the taste of it, man.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
And I remember I forgot I forgot all my cigars, and I was going out on my boat, and the gas station right there only had acid, so I had to settle. But it was all right. It's all right. You know.
Well, last year at the German American Festival, so we're out at there's a big German American Festival in Toledo every year. Last year was our first year out there selling cigars, and he got me to try. I don't even remember what it was. Really dark. I don't remember what it was, but can't do it, man. I tried. I tried. Sorry to my German American Fest folks. I'm not a beer drinker. Although the German flag shots were right up my alley, and if you look at my TikTok, you'll see how much up my alley when I'm dancing in front of the camera. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I was in high school and we had to all take a language to graduate. They made it a requirement. Spanish was all booked up, so I ended up in German class, and I'm like, who am I going to talk to in Detroit and say Guten Tag? Who am I going to? What are we doing here? You know. Then later on in life, I meet my friend Dan Wisniewski, and you know, he was like, yeah, man, it's all right. We don't.
Right.
It's okay, you know. But he's probably the guy I've seen bench the most in my entire life. He's ridiculous bodybuilder, but he's out there in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Right on.
And shout out to everybody in Minnesota. I got a lot of friends and family out there.
Nice.
But you know, so some of the things that going to be looking forward to here. You brought up one of the events happening here in the summer. And you said you might be releasing tickets here pretty soon, right?
Yep.
And is there anything else that we should be looking forward to here in the near future from Third Street Cigars?
So we've got an Alec Bradley event next week, next
Okay.
Wednesday, and that's our kickoff to our event season. We do an Alec Bradley event every year around St. Patty's Day because they have the Shamrock and the Filthy Hooligan. So we have an Alec Bradley event next week. And after that, just keep an eye on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We'll do an event almost monthly throughout the summer. We've got bike nights are going to be starting up again.
All right.
German American Festival in August. Blues, Brews, and Brats in July. Oliver Hazard in August. And everything will be posted. You can look on our website. There's upcoming events. It'll show you the next 5 events. Right now, it's only got Diamond Brown on it. Was it the 3rd Saturday of every month? We have Diamond Brown come in. He shines shoes. So if you want your shoe shines, you're not going to get them any better.
Mm-hmm.
But you can check there. You can check Facebook, Instagram, Twitter are our big ones. I'm learning TikTok slowly because my kids said there's a lot of people on TikTok.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it, so I made a TikTok video with just some. Matter of fact, it was just the storefront and the downstairs lounge with some Big Jack Reynolds music on it.
Mm-hmm.
And normally, my Facebook posts get X a number of views per week. I surpassed that number in about 4 hours on TikTok, so I got to start doing TikTok.
Yeah. My son tells me the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's so much to manage for me. I'm like, it's so much to manage, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, but I'm going to get into it eventually.
Trying to be better with our social media presence. That's where most of our events, that's where all of our events will be posted.
Mm-hmm.
Our website is pretty good.
It looks amazing.
Thanks.
I'm not sure who did it, but that looks amazing.
Right on.
I love that website.
We're in the process of upgrading as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get a new look on the website here shortly.
Okay.
So it'll have the same feel, but just a little bit different, some tweaks and stuff in there.
Okay.
So
I look forward to hopefully bringing your friends down here from Detroit and being at the festival this summer. I look forward. It sounds like a great time. I'm
It is
really
a
looking
really
forward
good
to it.
time.
it's such a good time. The only one I know for sure, there's a Zydeco band out of Louisiana that's going to be at Blues, Brews, and Brats. So if you're into some Zydeco music, that Cajun.
I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
I love musicians in general.
Yeah.
I have such an appreciation for them. But when I used to travel for my job, I used to go to some of the jam sessions, some of the open mics or different people playing around the town, different places I'd be. And I would try to get there earlier because I knew that they have a little jam session before they get started.
Right.
And I just get to see because I wish I could do it. I really wish I could do it. But,
Me too.
Some of them, I'm like, he's peeling the paint off with that guitar. It's just amazing. I get to see that. So I'm really looking forward
There's
to
a
it.
kid from Detroit, Chris Canis, killing it with the blues. If you haven't heard him, check him out. He's awesome. Just as a shout out to Detroit and Chris Canis. Really good young kid.
Chris Campbell, to check him out. Look him up.
It's a new take on. It's Chris's version of the blues, and it's great.
Yeah.
good stuff, man.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to a lot of. I love when a lot of lounges, because let's be honest, a lot of people have kind of, had made their lounges a little bit of a kind of a night crawl. But hey, let's get back to the musicians playing and relaxing, enjoying our pairing, whatever we have, and
Absolutely.
listening to some great music, and my friend actually, Tracy, he owns a lounge up there called the Cigar Lounge. We share a name.
Nice.
And we got together and we developed a relationship. And a good friend of mine now, and he's bringing a guy who plays the violin.
Nice.
And he's playing on March 31st. And he's going, and I'm like, I've seen this guy. And he was at my cousin's wedding playing when he came in. And I'm like, this guy is amazing. But, let's get some of those musicians in,
Yeah,
because a lot of them
absolutely.
look for a place to have the jam and, to be compensated okay and to be, just be appreciated again.
Absolutely.
So,
Toledo was a huge hub for music, and people don't really realize that.
Ohio in general.
Yeah, I mean,
Man, some of the great musicians that came out of Ohio.
if you look at where Toledo's situated with
Uh-huh.
80, 90 running east and west, and 75 running north and south, all the musicians that were coming up to Detroit or coming out of Detroit headed down, they all stopped in Toledo and they all played shows, and we have a lot of that history hanging on the walls.
Yes.
And Toledo is slowly coming back to its musical roots. There's a lot of good stuff happening around the Toledo area as far as the music goes. So
Amazing.
yeah, I like it. And hopefully, Third Street's right there at the forefront of it.
Yes.
So
Absolutely. So before we get out of here, anything else y'all want to bring up? Anything you look forward to?
I'm just looking forward to trying to grow the business and just get our brand out there. I personally take a lot of pride in our employees. I hire personalities. I can teach somebody cigars.
Mm-hmm.
I hire someone that's going to be customer service oriented, and my staff is the best in the area. Come in and see for yourself. I'm not
Absolutely.
lying. They're
Absolutely.
the best in the area. They will help you pick out a great cigar, and if you don't need any help, they're happy to just hang out and shoot the breeze with you.
Yep.
And just, I want people to feel welcome here. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you came from. Come in, have a smoke, relax. That's what this is all about. And it's not just for you or me. It's for everybody to come and do it. Just come
I
here
think
and
we've
hang
all
out.
walked into that cigar store in our life where you walk in the door and you instantly get the, who's that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's such an uncomfortable feeling. And that's one thing we make sure that does not happen here.
Right.
Right. I want you to walk in and I want people to say, "Hey, man, how you doing? Where can I help you?" And it's authentic though.
Yes.
It's not phony. It's not contrived. It's real. Our staff really is the best staff in the area, and they're a great group of people that work really hard to make everybody's experience here of the highest quality. And Josh does not get enough credit for what he's done for Third Street Cigars to help grow the business, the day-to-day struggles that he has to deal with. I mean, and it's all over the board. I mean, it's something that can be from a distribution relationship problem. It can be a shipping issue, all the way to the ice machine is broken. Josh, you got to fix it.
Right.
Hey, the sink fell off the wall. Hey, you got to fix it. And he jumps right in and does it. And he's championed with having to make tough decisions on behalf of the shop. So often the finger gets pointed to Josh as he's the bad guy, but we couldn't do it without him. There's no question. So if you see Josh, I really recommend giving him an attaboy because he certainly deserves it.
Oh,
Well, I
yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
I
that's
appreciate
amazing.
that. The culture that we've created here with our employees has definitely bled down into our regulars. And you'll see the regulars greeting new customers the same way the employees do. And that's awesome. right? When you get somebody that doesn't have any vested interest in the shop greeting people. You know, I've got lounge members that will give tours of the shop because they know just as much about this place as I do. You know, and they're pointing out everything that I would point out on a tour. You know, that kind of stuff really goes a long way to making my job easier as a selfish statement, but it also makes the shop look really good.
Yeah.
You know, when this guy says, I don't work here, but I love this place.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I can't say enough about my regulars, my members, my partners,
Yeah.
making my life easier, making the shop a better place to be.
Yeah, it speaks to the vision and the consistency
Yeah,
of you all.
absolutely.
You know, so I appreciate y'all. Thank you again.
Thank you.
This is here. We're here at Waterville, Ohio, at 3rd Street Cigar. Everybody out there, I hope you have a blessed and prosperous week from the Cigar Room Show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great week, everybody.
Yes.